Boy, I'll tell you, yesterday, looking back at the coverage that we did live regarding the Fort Hood shootings, but we were way off. Yeah, I got to apologize. We were just way off on that. Yeah, it appears it was a lone nut Timothy McVeigh bin Laden type, constantly reloading his 2 handguns, one of them a revolver, while the victims waited to be put down like lambs. Oops. How could we have gotten that so wrong? I mean, I guess part of it was the reports coming from all over the mainstream media of multiple shooters. In fact, last night, we even heard of a 4th shooter. That was after they let the other 2 people go. And the amazing thing, I'm going to cover this in the first hour. I got a whole list of notes here I'm going to try to make sense of. But the amazing thing is that not one person in the mainstream media, the repeating media out there, our media agents, not one of them anywhere has even questioned those initial reports. Now, I know what you're probably saying. This isn't a conspiracy chat. It is a conspiracy. Conspiracy of one, minimally. We should have known that the multiple shooters were going to, just like in the VTech case, were going to pan out to be wrong. Fool's gold, right? It was just a lone shooter, and we've got video of Mr. Hassan in the convenience store just before the shooting. He's not dressed in the military gear at all. He's wearing traditional Muslim garb. Well, that just means he's a terrorist, Jack. He's in a pretty good mood. He's kind of laughing and smiling in the video. And then he goes and shoots, let's see, what do we have here now? The final stats, I'm sure they're not final, though they could be. 13 dead and 30 injured. It was 12 until last night when somebody said, look, we need that 13. You've got to pull the plug on one of these guys. We have to get that number to 13. Do you understand? That's our calling card. We're marking our turf here. We can't do that, sir. Yeah. I'll come down there and do it myself. Something like that. 43 people in all. Did it with... Can I apologize now for being skeptical? It's just that nobody on the media followed up on any of the initial reports, which, by the way, again, coming out of a military installation by military spokespeople. It wasn't, a witness on a cell phone or something calling into the news station. This is official reports coming from the, again, largest military installation in the world, which, by the way, happens to do a lot of mind control, training of foreign troops. You got it. You name it, you got it. 43 dead. So let's... No, I'm sorry, 43 altogether. 30 dead, 13 dead, 30 injured. Thank you very much. I got it finally right. Let's just kind of walk through that a little bit. So he gets in, according to reports, the suspect goes in with his military ID, dressed up as a soldier, though minutes before, I guess, he was dressed up in a gown. And because no one questions him, because he is supposed to be there, even though the reports are coming out that this guy was a sick puppy, they were following him, he was causing trouble everywhere he went. He walks in, flashes his badge, no one says anything to him. Goes in, he's got a revolver. Again, who knows if this is even true as well? I mean, this is, again, what we heard in the aftermath. He had a revolver and an automatic pistol. 2 handguns. Now, last time I checked, unless somebody can educate me on this, revolvers hold 6 shots. So you can have the quick load, get those in there, and then, you can, with the other hand, you can... holding the gun in one hand, and then with the other hand, I guess with your tongue, you can... I'm not trying to make light of this, believe me, folks. I feel awful for the families who their people come back from the Middle East. Oh, good, they're alive. They're going to spend Thanksgiving with us. Oh, no, they're dead. I feel awful about it. But this is kind of funny in a way. Funny as in peculiar, funny as in completely weird, and all the rest. So with his tongue, he pops out the cartridge on the automatic, which at the most can hold 20 shots, and pops another one in, and the people just stand there. Now, according to the media reports, he had everyone cornered in a room. And while he's shooting at people and then reloading with his tongue, I guess, because his other hand has got a gun in it, Lee Harvey Oswald, are you listening? People just sit there like lambs, just getting shot. He's got 2 handguns. What would you do? What would you do? What would you do if that was happening in a room you were in? I could tell you, even my wife would run for the guy. Well, she's Scottish, so that explains that. Are we to believe that these people just sat there? This is very much like the Virginia Tech shooting. One guy. In fact, they showed the diagrams last night, and the shootings, they showed 2 locations where these shootings took place. So he did that, and then he ran across the way and then shot some more people, and everyone just sat there and got shot. Until finally, a female police officer, there's the irony of all ironies, They're at a military installation. Of course, they want to take all of our rights away and take our guns away because they're trying to protect our safety. Meanwhile, they can't even protect themselves, and a female cop comes in and takes the guy out. Allegedly, because that's another part of the story that changed after the fact. He's alive. And I'm going to jump to this because I have a ton of corrections here, a ton of questions. More questions than answers, unfortunately, but, you know, I think it's suspicious that he's alive. And there was a shooting today in Orlando, Florida, where a Hispanic American, no talk of him being a racist, of course, no. I mean, if the guy was white and one Hispanic got shot, it's a racist and he hates Obama, et cetera, et cetera. That guy's alive. This is the weirdest thing because in every public shooting we've seen over the years, the shooter takes himself out. Or, you know, maybe they'll catch someone that could be the shooter up the way and they'll take him out and say it's him and that's it, dead men tell no tales. But in this case, what's suspicious about it, and you know, you look at this and you go, you know, here's a guy involved in the psychology field of the military. Worked at Walter Reed, counseling, probably hearing shocking story after shocking story of our troops coming home and the problems they have inside their head for the things they had to do, the kind of lies that they had to engage in, the Operation Phoenix, the P2OG that they had to do for their country, the Abu Ghraibs they had to go through. And you look at that and you think, well, I mean, this could very easily be an MK Ultra Manchurian candidate, except for one problem, he's still alive. And these guys never lived through the shootings, for the most part. But you look at Timothy McVeigh, pretty good chance he was, so it's not completely out of the realm of possibility, is it? How could the initial reports be so wrong? I'm going to get to the headlines on DeadlineLive.info later, because we've got some good ones over there. I'm not going to talk much about the Orlando shooting today, other than to say it looked like a disgruntled worker who was taking advantage of an already crazy situation. We see this happen a lot, kind of a copycat thing where one guy comes up, he's all over the news, and he gets his retribution. The other guy goes, you know, I think I'm going to go there. I'm going to go ahead and do it too. And during all of this, we had Kay Bailout Hutchinson and Rick Hairdo Bilderberg as well, Perry, and Barry Obama, all out taking advantage of the situation. You know, that's a tough charge. A lot of people aren't going to like me saying that, but what am I supposed to think? I mean, that's what it looked like. As Rambo Emanuel has said, never waste a good crisis. So whether or not this all happened the way we're hearing, and I'm sorry, I'm not buying it, not all of it, you know, never waste a good crisis. Even if they didn't have if this wasn't all engineered, they didn't have a pre-planned solution for all of us, there'll be one now. Trust me, especially today with another incident. Kay Bailout Hutchinson coming on, she has personal information to say he was targeting people he knew, and they were bullying him, going back to Columbine. This is, of course, the standard excuse we hear in these public shootings, in the settings of these public shootings. He was being bullied. People were making fun of him because he was a Muslim in the military. This is a guy that's been in, at least from what I heard, since 2001. Oh, and by the way, speaking of VTech, that's where he went to school. Another known mind control center. I wanted to get Matt Kazee on the show today because he lived over there for quite some time and did an enormous amount of research into that, and we could take that whole angle. I don't think we're going to do too much on that today without his help, but I think most of you can look that up.